Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live show and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to a section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. By the way, you only can make a comment or a question during the live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos that Sparky does on his platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the notification bell and select all so that whenever myself or Sparky comes on, you'll be notified. Also, sharing the videos helps, and comments also helps the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube membership starting at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. That's if you're on YouTube, you see the channel, it's right there, the little join button. Hit that and select whatever level you want to contribute. You can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, to make donations. You only can use the super chat donation feature during a live stream. So like I said earlier, come on in during the live stream, just make a donation, please. And then if it's not a good time for you, come back and watch the replay and when you can watch the whole show. But we need your support. And your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges that Sparky or myself can see in the chat box, and you get unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel, Stunthangar, and I'm only in here twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there. And place a comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his camera at the 2019 AMA National Championships. I was flying Sparky's beautiful Junar XL, which is a beautiful plane, by the way, and it flies really nice. I actually miss having a good flying plane. So anyways, when you do that, I'll be notified right away. I'll get a notification on my cell phone, and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link at Stunthangar Forum. Let me see here. Oh, whoops. I had forgotten to get the information here. Hang on one second. I got to take care of something here. Can't post a link without the link information, right? So let me copy that information here. Pardon me, just a second. Copy invitation. Okay, so now we do a few more clicks here and we'll be on our way. All right, and all right, you guys, the or gals, the link has been posted. And let me go to the YouTube channel. I'm going to look at the what I call the control panel, and let me see what's going on there on the YouTube side. Hope everybody's had a good week. I'm looking forward to the show tonight. And let me see here what's going on. We had a very good show Monday. I mean, we had like 15 people, I believe, one time inside the this space, and we had a pretty good after party. So it was a really good show for Monday. I was really pleased with that. That was a great show. All right, so I look here and I see Tom Ramel says like provided. Thank you very much, Tom. Matter of fact, someone's coming in here named Tom. I don't see the last name yet. And then Mark Lumen says liked, be on in a minute or in a bit, excuse me. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. So we have 7. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Hey, Charles. I'm good.
So we have 7, actually we have 8 concurrent viewers and 5 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. That helps the channel's analytics. So that's why I keep encouraging you to hit the like button. And don't forget to join the YouTube channel. It also helps, and share and comment as well. Here comes Gary Sinclair. All right, you guys were on it. I posted it and bam, bam. Hey, have you been to Devil's Island? I saw an image of Devil's Island in Wisconsin. Have you been there? Is that near you, Tom, or am I mistaken?
No, I've never been there.
But how far is it from you?
Well, Wisconsin is the next state over from Minnesota.
Oh, I was totally confused. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's right. You're in Minnesota. That's right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I got it confused. I saw this image and I go, oh, wow, I wonder if Tom's ever been there. Well, now I know. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
So,
all right.
I've been working on a. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Are you
I've been
late?
working on a plane this week.
Look at that, a combat plane. What a coincidence.
No.
It's a repurposed combat plane.
Wow. Very cool.
This is a plane that Mike and Sam Longkey gave me when I was at the Nats. They pulled it out of the trash.
Yeah.
And the elevator was hit with the propeller in a combat match.
Right.
And so I fixed the elevator and then added a fuselage and I'm creating something that I'm hoping I can teach the grandkids to fly.
Oh, very cool.
And it's electric powered.
Oh, wow. That's my first electric powered I've seen. I've heard they have combat electric planes, but I've never seen one, but now I have. So
this is, I have this on my YouTube channel. It's just Tom Ramel with the space between Tom and Ramel. And I have the whole build sequence of this. And I don't know, it was either last week or the week before, Howard showed his combat plane that he converted, only it's gas powered, but converted for people that are interested in flying, and he lets them fly it when he's at the field.
Oh, very cool.
And his had an aluminum tube for the fuselage. I just used a poplar.
Oh, that'll work.
Poplar piece, but anyway, I put this together this week. So
I see you're stitching. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On the elevator. Very cool.
Yep.
That is nifty.
Very, very neat. That's very, hey, Robert, how you doing, Robert?
I'm actually doing really good, Charles. How is everyone else? Or I guess
Doing
we're
well.
for now.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I guess we're it so far.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we're off to a flying start. I'm sorry to not get back to you, Robert. It slipped my mind. I thought of it, but I was so busy other things.
Not urgent at all. Are you available sometime this weekend and maybe give a call?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, definitely.
DM me or email me directly and set up for tomorrow evening or something maybe again.
Okay, absolutely. I'll in the chat box, I can send it to you in this chat, not the other chat, but this one I'll send it to you in there.
Yeah, we'll just do that Zoom meeting we did a while ago. Seemed to work pretty good, so we can just do that.
Absolutely. Hey, Howard, how are you?
Okay.
Hi, Howard, and thank you. I received your check yesterday.
Oh,
Received a check from you yesterday, so thank you.
Hi, Gary.
well, that's wonderful.
Hey, Howard.
Hi.
Hey, Gary, I've been trying to get hold of you and no response through the PM on Stunthangar. Could you maybe pop me a message with your address and so we can correspond a bit?
All right.
So this
Yeah, I
is
just want to send you some pictures and stuff, but I was unable to do an attachment on that, and apparently the PM note that I gave to you hasn't gotten through or whatever. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
today is December the 3rd. We should have a new and last calendar this year. I'm trying to find my my calendar. I come across it when I'm not doing the show. Oh, is it here? I should put it in a more handy spot, I tell you.
Oh, we got Chris Rudd's Tempest.
Oh, man, maybe they make you big. You can show everybody, show the world. All right, Tom. Well, I got Rob. That is a nice looking plane. Well, those of you who are interested in being in the calendar, need to forward Gary Sinclair a picture and a description of the plane and description. And he likes it if it's the one with you in it as well, besides just the plane. But that doesn't have to be that way. That obviously Chris Cox did not have, he wasn't there personally. I mean, Chris Rudd, excuse me, pardon me. And
Chris Cox wasn't either.
Was that Chris Cox plane or
Yeah,
Chris Rudd's plane?
Chris Cox was the month before in November. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to attach and forward to you, but it just wouldn't do that. So I got a couple of pictures of me with I think about 5 of my airplanes when we were out flying up to Noka.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that I need to take a picture of me in my SV11. I've been meaning to get around to doing that. I just haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I've got my SV11 and my Smoothie and one of my RSTs and my baby Ringmaster and my old ancient Flight Streak all in the one pic there, spread up the grass with me.
Cool. Showing your fleet a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Now, you still own some full-scale airplanes or not, Bob?
If I ever work on it, I've got a home-built Thorpe T-18 that I haven't done in years, but I just haven't had the incentive because with what I do and all the friends I have, I've always got at least a half a dozen airplanes available to fly, ranging from advanced ultralights right through to a Mooney M20J that loaded to the gills, and Cardinal, Grumman Traveler. There's just a variety of airplanes that I've got to use, so I just don't have the incentive to work on my full size one.
I bet.
And there's the 3 magic things you have to have together to make a plane successful. You need the time, you need the money, and you need the workspace. And believe you me, if you think time, money, and workspace is tough for a model, try it for a full size.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that would be very challenging. All 3 of those would be challenging for me.
I think they are for just about everyone. If a guy's got a lot of money, he's obviously putting time into making the money and might not have it for building the planes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the
No, except for
magic.
guys like Howard there, he's loaded. So look at that shop. All that bins full of equipment there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It looks very organized.
Yeah, sure is.
So do you see the posting there, Bob? I just saw it's in the chat now. You can see Gary Sinclair's email address. It's in our chat, not the chat that's on YouTube.
Oh, on the Stunthangar chat, you mean?
They're
No,
right
this
here.
chat.
This chat.
Oh, on here.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
I'll have to
down
bring
below the
that.
bottom is a chat. And it's a
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Just a sec here.
You can just siphon it, I think, between the spaces.
So far, I'm not finding it, but I'll keep looking.
all righty.
Gallery
It's right
switch.
next to share and
Yeah.
participants on my screen. Down below there in the
Or something. I don't know. Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
Gordon Hayden in the chat box, he says, evening all. Well, good evening, Gordon. Thanks for coming in. And then Jeff Riley says, good evening, Stunthangar. Hey, good evening, Jeff. I spoke to
Jeff.
you earlier. Or actually, we texted back and forth earlier. So
I found it, Gary. Thank you. I'll take care of that tomorrow sometime.
and let me send you my email address. Since you found that, I'll send you my email address.
Great. The other one I'll have to corner tonight is John, because I think he mentioned he had a heat iron he might be willing to sell me. I'm going to take him up on it if he comes on tonight.
So this goes to everybody. So it's if you don't have it, it's right there. Let me see. How do I do this? There we go. Yep, that's my email address.
Yeah, I think I had that, but if it's for everyone, that's great.
Is anybody doing any flying this weekend or week? I mean, not weekend, but this week. Anybody doing any flying or building? I know Tom, he showed me what he did, been working on.
Only full-size stuff.
Well, that's good. Well, I had a friend help me out today. He actually, I've been looking at one of these combat planes. He calls it a Walkerman. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this. So Walkerman, you see that, Howard?
Yeah,
Make myself big so it's easier for me. If I can make
they are designed by Luc Walkerman in the Netherlands.
okay.
1984 world champ.
Well, I've been eyeing one of these for a long time. I keep asking my friend Stuart Mossman, man, sure, I want to get one of those. And so he gave this to me. He didn't give it to me, but he practically gave it to me for the price he's charging me. And very little, and very fortunate to get this. So I'm looking excited. I might probably fly this next Friday when my friend Stuart Mossman comes out again. I'll have that. So my first Walkman. I have the older versions. This is the more modern version. And I don't know if you can see the engine mount. How do you see the engine mount? My friend Stuart Mossman, he makes these engine mounts. Laminated with different kinds of wood.
Oh, make it out of aluminum. It'll go faster.
And normally they're aluminum, but he made this one out of a hardwood.
Yeah, make it out of aluminum. They'll go faster.
You think so? So it's another shot of it, so you can see it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's an interesting motor too. It's an SH. I don't know where motor is made, but this is an SH 37. He wouldn't give me the muffler. He had an Art Adamson muffler on it.
I wouldn't give up a big art player either if I had it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I didn't
You
fault
wouldn't
him.
want to use a muffler. That's not right.
Yeah, I didn't fault him for that. Trust me. I have lots of mufflers, so looks like Jeff Riley says, didn't mean to bug you earlier, my shop clock is still on the summer setting. No problem, Jeff. It was great to see a text from you. And looks like we have Edward Sutter. Welcome. So, Edward, I always assumed you was already a supporter. I guess now it's official. Thank you very much. You're a new member of the YouTube channel. Thank you, Edward. So I know Sparky and I appreciate that because memberships and everything has been slow. So thank you so much. And Jack Snavely says, hello all. Well, hello, Jack. And hello, Ed, by the way.
Are we late? Or are we right on time?
We're right on time.
Okay, I thought we was an hour late. Okay, maybe not. I know I
No.
kept trying. I don't know.
He was on time to the minute this week.
Thank you very much for noticing.
Okay.
Strive to
Okay.
get on. You know, I say it starts at 6:45, but I actually start talking at 6:45. And then I post the link when I get through with the introduction.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure exactly what time I actually post the link every show, but it's not at 6:45 because I'm busy explaining to people how to get in, how to things about the show. So I always say 6:45, but it doesn't show. The link is not there till maybe 6:40, 6:50 probably. I don't know.
I guess just me. I just thought that's right. Not on here yet. Maybe not.
Anyway,
Actually, you're
I'm
pretty
glad-
close, Charles. It's usually 6:48 when you go live.
Really?
Very good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I try not to talk too long, but I think it's important information just to explain to people how they come in to the show. You have to, just to repeat it, you know, you have to be a registered at Stunthangar Forum, and then there's a link that's posted there only for registered members. Everybody can go to stunthangar.com, but the link at what's called at the bench will not appear unless you're either logged in or you are a member. And so I explained those little details like that. And that we have an after party, you know, following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream. And Edward Suter says, don't know what happened, but I had to re-enlist. Well, you know, Edward, I've had to re-enlist 3 times because I've replaced my my debit card for a myriad reasons. Sometimes the card wouldn't work no longer. So when I got a new card, I had to re-register. So I've done that at least 3 times myself. But I'm glad that you relisted. So I thought you was a member already. So, but either way, thank you very much for re-enlisting. Because still, no one's putting a gun to your head to do it. So appreciate it. Well, I went flying today, and I took out my SV11, and I had added another washer to the 2 bolts on top to give the motor some up incident to say pusher prop. And I had did it, I think Monday, and it felt a little bit better. And I thought, let me just add a little bit more. So I added another washer. So the total of 2 washers per mounting bolt on the top, 2 mounting bolts to give the motor a little bit up. And it still turns a lot quicker on outsides. I really suspect I'm going to frame the plane up, get it all on a bench and all leveled and see what I got. I think there's some asymmetry maybe in the stab or somewhere that's making it turn quicker in one way than the other. So
Is there any hunting or anything in level flight?
there was some, but I took it out when I put some incidents in the motor. So I took care of the hunting, but yes, there was some hunting. You know, I put that plane together in such a hurry. Remember, I was trying to frantically put this plane together to go to the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna do that ever again. Next time I'm gonna take my time, but I was really pressed for time. So was John. John Miller was trying to get his SV11 together. His is IC. And that's no way to build a plane when you're rushing and pushing, you know.
Now that the contest season's over for you, Charles, why don't you spend the time on it, doing all the cosmetic details? You were talking about a cockpit and stuff like that. Take care of all that, because that's going to affect the weight a little bit, and this and that. And, do all that before you do your trimming out, so you don't have to possibly do some of it again.
Oh, that's well, I am so suspect of this plane. I don't want to put anything on making it look pretty until I can get it flying pretty.
Come on, you all know that you like going out with a pretty thing to the airfield.
I do, but you know what? I'm like, I gotta get this plane to fly good, you know. That's why I said in my monologue, I mentioned that I miss flying a good flying plane. When I flew Sparky's plane at the Nats, which is a 2019 AMA National Championship video on my channel, the Flying Control Line Stunt channel. That was a really good flying plane. I mean, I can't remember the last time I flew a better plane than that. So, but lately my planes have not been flying that good and just been frustrating. I left the field with the intention of coming back with an IC plane, but I wanted to cut the tune pipe on my impact. So I cut the tune pipe, and then to cut it, I had to remove a aluminum bushing. And then when I cut the tune pipe, the aluminum bushing was recessed in the first, I don't know, 5/8 of an inch of the tune pipe. But when I trimmed the tune pipe, then that bushing wouldn't go back all the way flush at the end of the tune pipe. And I was just one thing after another. So I ended up going back to the flying field with no airplanes. I only got in one flight today. But the good news is my friend gave me a deal I could not refuse with that Walkerman combat plane. So it was a very good day.
Do you still have your Strega?
Yeah, so I have my Strega. Yep, I almost took that out today. But the reason why I was inclined to go with the tune pipe, because I don't know if you haven't heard this name in a while, but I have a plane I've been building, not of lately, but it's a plane called Precious Balsa. And that's going to have the same engine and setup that's in the Impact that I wanted to take out today. My intention has been to get that plane trimmed out with the engine as far as the pipe length, the prop, tank, everything, and then do what's called a power swap, take everything out of the Impact and put it into the new plane, my Precious Balsa. So that was my plan months and months and months ago. So I decided to get back on that today, but it didn't work out. Looks like Bill Irving is coming in and Tryon is coming in. Let's see who can get in first. I know Bill Irving started first. Looks like he's connecting to the audio.
We've had
Hey, Tryon, you got in first. I mean, first as far as between you and Bill Irving.
Yes, I got him beat.
I know you're the man.
But he's still slow.
So how you doing, Tryon?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I had a productive week, so that's that.
Oh, very good. Well, productive as far as model airplanes as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to get back into molding now. So I guess I call it productive.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Looks like you got Griot's wax there.
What?
Looks like you had Griot's wax.
Yeah, I was waxed.
Griot's wax.
Oh. No, I don't know what he's talking about.
What was that container you had? What was that you just had
I
in your
can
hand?
see, I saw a bottle in front of you.
Oh, that's what is that?
It's just a polishing compound.
Yeah, that's Griot's, isn't it?
This is Krios.
Yeah.
Kritos.
Wow, Mitch.
Kritos.
Oh,
Howard, you are quick. Howard, you are sharp. Yeah. That's what he's talking about, Tryon.
It seems to be good for polishing paint too, because I was just I took that that fuselage that I had in here,
Right?
and I was just trying to see if I can maybe buff out the paint and you know, just try to see what would happen, right?
Right.
I think in the future I'm just gonna paint this whole area with silver and then come back and then paint this after the molding, so I get rid of this the seams in here. Right?
Ah,
But having like a base of some kind of a color, you know, it's much easier to just lightly sand it off and just go on top of it, and you have something nice to paint on top. But I was just trying to see if I can get this, and it buffs nicely. I mean, this is pretty good to buff out and bring up even a little bit more shine and perhaps what you have already.
I've never seen that polish before. Where'd you get it at?
Everywhere. You can find it at AutoZone and stuff like that. And I'll also check something out. I mean, I'm trying to learn as much as I can right now. So one thing I was just trying to learn to see how well things fit in here. And as you can see, this was actually painted in a mold. And right now it's kind of like this.
That looks good.
See when the parts come together?
Right.
Now, we
Right.
all know nothing will ever replace Wendy's Gorham's compound, though.
Which is no longer in production. I don't think you
Yeah,
can
I
find
know.
it.
I'm just kind of kidding.
Can you find it anywhere?
I doubt it.
I've never seen it.
I think Wendy gave up on looking for it just about 20 years ago.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So yeah, I have. What can I say? I'm pretty happy with the fits that I get, and things are looking promising. Hopefully, in the future, I'm not gonna have this kind of a crazy stuff that's happening right
Oh
now.
yeah, that's. I mean, we learn by. We learn by our experiences. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard else. It's how else do you learn? If everything goes well, you don't learn much. Hey, hey, Carl. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I think next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna mold the nose. Simply because this was the original mold that was made with wax and stuff like that, and that was this was treated just the same as every other one of them, right? So if this is gonna work, everything else is gonna work too. So
How hard is that material in your hand?
this,
Yeah.
it's solid plastic. It's like a plastic billet.
Okay. Wow. I mean, it just looks the color, and it just looks like it'd be something that would be soft. You know.
No, because this this is made is formulated specific for molding, right? For being polished, and a plastic that's being polished, something that you can actually polish, it should be pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
In consistency. Plus, you don't want it to warp and move and you
Right.
become funny things going on.
But is it relatively light as well? It doesn't look like it's very heavy when you're handling it.
Oh, I mean, this piece is relatively light. I mean,
Yeah.
when I try to handle the wing molds, those are pretty heavy. I mean, if I was making them out of aluminum, I don't think I would save much weight to them. But I like them because they are rigid and then strong. So this kind of, yeah, this is the.
Yeah, you can see that polish. I mean, and I thought it was hard, but it just didn't seem very heavy the way you was handling it. Yeah, that thing is glistening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but hopefully it's gonna work fine. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm very confident that I have it done, but the proof is when you actually do it. So I have new stencils, I have new everything. I'm ready to go. So that's that.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
Charles, that new plane you just got, the combat plane, how much does that weigh with the motor and everything?
Oh, that is a great question. I have no idea. I really don't have any idea.
No scale.
Not
Right.
in here. I have a scale in my garage. I have a couple
Okay.
scales down there, but in here, no, I don't have any scale. But yeah, it's I mean, the trailing edge is a carbon fiber trailing edge that almost disappears. You probably couldn't even see it. And then the center section is basswood, but other than that, it's I think the leading edge is shaped foam, and then it's wrapped with like some Kevlar. I mean, it's incredible engineering. I mean, they I know that I've seen people crash those things. I mean, just smack the ground,
Yeah.
and all they do is just break the prop. I mean, it's engineered in such an incredible fashion that I'm not gonna say it's indestructible, but tough. I mean, I think they get mostly destroyed from just when they combat and they hit each other. You know, that's when they probably like an engine going through the wing or something. But
Yep.
hitting the ground, they're very tough. I mean, it's just. How many times have you crashed yours, Carl?
Oh, I crashed all of them at least 3 times, and I buried one of them. I buried the motor right up behind the back plate of the engine, and had to take it off and and saturate it with fuel to clean it out. And like you said, clean out the needle valve assembly and spray bar and the venturi and change the prop, and I was on my way in about maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're engineered. They're engineered in a way that they
They are.
that they will take the impact and expand where it doesn't break. It doesn't.
Now, on the other hand, I'm only flying with a Brodac 25 on these and the Apps 25, but one with a 36, maybe with a 40 on it, it might do more damage to the plane. Well, no, I take that back. Yeah, maybe with a 36 or 40 on it, it might do more damage.
Yeah, so hopefully I might put it, Stuart said maybe just put a 10.5 on it, and I might be able to do it stunt pattern with the plane. So it won't fly so fast that I can't do stunts. So
What size motor do you have on there now?
the 37, it's an SH 37.
Yeah. 10.5. Yeah.
Did you go flying, Charles?
Yeah, that's the operative word. Did I go flying? Yes, I did go.
Well, he flew.
I
He
flew
flew
one
a
time and
couple
got
laps.
disgusted and left. And I was determined to come back with a different airplane, but I found there was so much work I had to do to get the other plane back. I just came back with empty-handed. So it was getting late. And so I went there. I took my SV11. I flew it one time, didn't like how it flew. Hey, Phil, thanks for coming in.
Hey,
and,
how are you?
I'm doing well. And Al,
Well,
thank you for coming in, Al.
Well, it makes you feel any better, Charles. I didn't have a good day today either, but it was a good day because no one crashed. So
Yeah.
Well, the day was a gorgeous day for sure. I just didn't get to go flying. But what was wrong with the SV11?
It turns a lot quicker on outsides than insides. I've been dealing with this since the very first flight, and I've been trying all different kind of things, and I decided that there's got to be something wrong with this airframe because I put it together in such haste.
Well, let me ask you a quick question. Are you using a conventional propeller or a tractor?
I'm using a pusher prop right now.
A pusher prop. Okay. Little hint. Instead of, how we've all been told to put a little down thrust in a conventional propeller.
Right.
With a tractor prop, you put a little up thrust in it.
Yeah. I've learned that from doing it wrong the first time. Yeah. Dennis had a missing told me to give it up. And I've tried that. Everything I've tried adjusting the push rods. Nothing seems satisfactory. So
well, do you have a set of those gauges? Do you have a set of those gauges that you put on there and check the incidence?
Yes. I'm gonna mock the plane up and see what's going on because there's something wrong in there.
Put it on some bags or one of those carrier things or something and bag it down where it can't move, and then peg your elevators together, 2 flat plates and 2 clothespins on each side, something, and then check the instance of everything: the spinner, the prop, the flaps and wing and the tail and see if everything's in line or what you got. I mean,
Yeah, only problem is I got to clear my bench to really do that. So that's the only delay. Is my bench is.
Don't
covered.
even talk about that, Charles. It'd take me 3 months to clear my bench.
Yeah, so you understand what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I know what I want to do, but it's like I got to clear my bench, which is like it's not easy. I don't have it. When I look at my bench, I pick up an item. It's like, well, where can I put this?
Charles, is that plane an ARF?
Yeah, this
Charles.
is SV11 electric ARF, Al.
I think I just had a similar experience with Vector 40. So what I found out was my push rod was flexing.
Your push rod was flexing.
Correct. Yeah, when you're giving up, you're which way? Outsides are better than insides?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, so that's when you give
That
it.
would be it. That could be it.
So what you do is hold your flaps. You don't want to break anything. Hold your flaps and grab your elevator and feel the resistance going down. It's going to be solid because it's pulling. It's not a give. And hold your flaps and try to feel the elevator going up.
Right.
And if you feel any kind of bow or any little slight, give.
Excuse me, but you got it backwards.
Wow.
You got it backwards.
To my Vector, and I was putting extra. I had a Rico handle, and I kept on expanding up to the very last, the very last hole. I was taking there's 4 screws. I took 2 out to give it more up throw, and I still, still felt like I needed more. And then so then I took the plane because I was wiping down the plane, and I was checking the flaps the way I was telling you. And I said, something's not right here. And I had my old one that I crashed, so I could see, exactly what was going on. And I checked that one, and then sure enough, I could see the push rod flexing. And the fix was I cut a window below the stab, where the horn is, about 3 inches by 2 inches, and pulled in, and I had pulled the hasp off, and I got a 10-inch piece of carbon fiber rod with a hole in it, and I slid that over snuck that in there and slid it over the push rod, and then dripped some CA glue on it, and then put it all back together, and I just taped the hatch on in case I want to do any adjustment later. And it made a world of difference. It actually turns insides now better than outsides.
Outsides,
Yeah.
yes.
So and that's a bigger plane. That's. Do you remember what kind of push rod was in there?
Yeah, I remember. I made several of them.
Oh, you made the push rods?
Yeah, they're it's the thin carbon fiber, but a 3/16.
Oh, you do have a carbon fiber. Mine had the steel ones.
No, that should be enough. The 3/16 carbon fiber is more than enough for a push rod.
Okay.
That's what I use on my Ringmaster.
All right, I thought you had the steel one. I mean,
but you know what? But still, I mean, that makes perfect sense what you're describing, because it's like as if when I give it up, there's more flexing up and there's none even down. I mean, that's what it flies like. So if anybody's curious what I'm talking about, the plane's much more responsive on outsides than insides. I mean, it's just like, to tell you how responsive it is, when I do an outside round, I have like stops. It's almost like an octagon. I mean, I have to kind of let off because it's turning so quick. I have to let off, and it's like, so I have a shape that's not smooth on the outsides. But on the inside, just nice and smooth. I don't know if you saw me fly today, Carl, but inside's nice and smooth. Outsides is just, it's turning so quick. It's not a smooth corner. I'm trying to finesse and let off. It's just turning so quick.
But Charles, do you have, did you check all your alignment?
Yeah, I checked the, I made sure that the elevator to flap came to neutral at the same time. When I put it together, the only thing I didn't do when I put it together, in my haste, when I glued in the stab, I measured the trailing edge, leading edge of the stab, and compared it to the trailing edge of the wing. Made sure that was correct. And then looking over the wing, I made sure that the stab was, was parallel to the wing. But the one thing I didn't check was the incidence of the stab.
How's the plane fly in level flight? Does it fly perfectly level or does it fly with the tail down?
I've heard it. It's flying straight when I see it from inside the corner and then inside the center. It looks like the plane is flying totally flat.
Oh, it's not dragging the tail.
Not dragging the tail at all.
All right.
It looks beautiful, actually.
Okay.
All right.
Charles, one question out of curiosity. You'd had that problem with the wing being built improperly. Was the outboard wing with that trailing edge problem? How did you resolve that? And is that possibly related to it?
Well, how did I fix that? It seems like forever ago when I had to deal with that. As a matter of fact, Joe Mata and we did it together. It took two of us. I think I cut the trailing edge is basically a stick, like 3/8 by 1/2 inch high. And I cut it off or loosened it somehow. And then I re-glued it. It was just glue.
I told you to split it with an X-Acto knife down the center.
That's right. It was Trian's idea. I'll blame Trian.
Okay.
Yeah,
The carbon fiber push rod, was that standard or you put that in?
I put that in.
Okay. So you took out the steel push rod.
Yeah, there's no steel push rods anywhere in there. It's all
Mine came with carbon.
That came with the ARF.
All right, Charles, there might be something else, kind of like a little ghost over there. And the ghost might be the flaps horn plate, the one that connects to your push rods.
Yeah.
Right. If that thing is flexing and twisting, is there a possibility?
It's
like when you give it up, it just bends and doesn't transmit the.
Yeah, these are the Tom Morse flap and elevator horns, by the way.
They're not twisted. They're not going anywhere.
They're not twisting in.
No way.
Those are 1/16 steel.
Yeah, they're
Cold
fine.
steel. They ain't
just
flexing.
asking, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe another thing I would probably think is like if you move your lead outs 1 inch in one direction, say 1 inch in the other direction, do you have equal deflection on the flaps up and down?
I think we did this in the after party, and I made sure that it was correct. Yeah, it was your suggestion too. I think I put some tape, and then I cut the tape into 2 pieces, and I moved them apart the same amount, and watched the deflection of the flap at that time, and it was the same.
Wow, this is weird.
Okay, when you're flying,
an incident on the wing, it could be an incident on the wing. If you have a negative incidence on the wing or
that would definitely do it.
That would do it, right?
Yeah.
So, and actually, the only fix around that I can think of is like just the flaps to elevator push rod. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flaps are too high.
I do want some.
Like if
just bring the flaps down a little bit.
Yeah, you bring your flaps down.
Okay. I haven't tried that.
Like the flaps are fighting the elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not tried that.
Does it hunt?
Does it track good in level flight? Yeah. What is it when you're flying level? Does it track nice, or is it hunting?
It does now. When I first flew it, it did hunt, and I put some motor incidents in it, and it took care of the hunting. Okay. And Phil, you was trying to ask me. What was you trying to ask me? Oh, did it hunt?
I was asking,
it did hunt when I first flew it, and then at that time I had a regular prop, and I gave it some down incidents, and it took care of the hunting.
Well, I guarantee you, if you've got a tractor prop on it, you still got that motor tilted down, it's going everywhere but where you want it to go.
I changed the tractor prop to a pusher prop, and then then Dennis had a miss and said, Charles, you got to give it up incidents.
You already straightened that out.
A pusher prop. Yes. So it's just been.
I kind of stay with the tractor prop because it's the devil I know, and I'm so used to the way the plane feels in the air like that, and I didn't want to change to something new. It's kind of like you expect it, then you know what it's gonna do. I don't want to relearn things.
Hey, try the pusher prop. I'm actually a firm believer. Let me tell you what happened to me. I was doing a overhead 8, and like I said, the plane turned so quickly that before I got straight over my head, the plane started turning, and I actually almost stalled the plane overhead. And if it wasn't for
that's
that
not a
pusher
good idea.
prop,
In an inside or an
any other
outside?
plane, I think I would have
Inside
crashed
or outside?
on the outside part.
On the outside,
Okay.
you almost stalled. Okay.
Yeah, because
May
I
I
came
ask
over
you
the
some-
inside, did that big maneuver, and now it's coming back over, go over my head, start the outside, and it just turned so quick, I almost stalled it in front of me. And
Okay.
thank God for that pusher prop taking the plane away from me. The plane, I didn't crash it. And so now I'm a believer. Matter of fact, Dennis said this to me. Dennis Adamison said, if there's no other gains in flying electric, but just having a pusher prop, that'd be enough for him to go to electric, notwithstanding everything else that you get with electric. Just that, and that that made me a believer. That experience, because any other plane, I think I would have flown. That would have been a crash.
May I ask some questions?
Yeah. Yes, Howard.
Okay. Now you said it's quicker outsides than insides, right?
Yes.
What's it feel like when it does an inside? Could you describe how it feels doing an inside?
Oh,
the
it's
airplane
just
feels?
turning such a small maneuver. And if I'm doing a round, it's such a small round in comparison to the inside round. I mean, dramatically.
What does the inside round feel like?
Oh, okay. It feels like I'm not even ready for it to turn, and it's already turning.
The No,
Oh,
inside.
he's asking inside,
I'm sorry.
not outside.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. The inside feels
When you give it up.
I mean, the inside maneuvers feel slow and developing, and then the
So
outside
soft.
are quick.
Okay.
There's a bunch of difference between them.
Is there any? There's no tendency to stall. It's very nice and smooth, and you can.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice and smooth inside. Bigger. I mean, it's a bigger round. I mean, it gets big. It's not a small inside.
Okay, put in some up elevator relative.
Yeah, that's what
I think that's what everybody else told you. Isn't it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the plane on the table and make sure everything is, see if I can measure or find something.
Don't need to. You've flown it.
All right, get down.
You know how to fly.
Being a problem now.
All right, unless you want to cut it open to adjust the incidence or something, but.
Well, if it's in the stab, I could cut the rudder off.
How the inside feels relative to the outside is an indication of whether you've got a bias in there. You need to, and it sounds like you do, and you got a.
You're locked up, Howard. Your video locked up, anyways. But I appreciate what you're saying, Howard. I think you're onto something.
So Charles, on the top of the loop, on the inside maneuvers, on the top of the loop, is it we have nice line tension?
Oh yeah.
Is it a big difference between the line tension on the bottom and the top?
It's not something
You're being a
conscious.
problem.
I can ask you another question. How's it when you fly inverted? Are you comfortable with it inverted? Like,
oh yeah.
And it feels like it's tracking right, like everything's neutral. It's not tracking too high or too low. Like you might have to put a little bit more up in the handle to give you more throw.
Well, today, I mean, I had my first and only flight. This is after I had given the motor more up incidence. So when I went inverted, the plane was kind of going down. I had to give it a little more down control to correct that. But I wasn't too surprised because I had just changed the motor, and so I thought that was due to my
Yeah, well, that's going to affect your handle,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I didn't change my handle when I had given the motor more up incidence. So I just expected that
So
that
you have
was
to
just,
put, it sounds to me like you have to put a little bit more up in your handle. And that would give you
Yeah,
more.
You got to move the handle, the up line up and the down line in a little bit.
Yeah, I agree,
I'm just-
100%.
I'm just saying, just shorten your up line a little bit before you move the spacing.
yeah. I
You know,
thought about that
because-
too.
Because
Alan.
if you're flying inverted and you have to give it, you know, you have to give it, you said you had to
Volume
turn
right
it long
down
enough.
so it doesn't interfere
Or
with
press it too low.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it because that was my first flight after making it change the engine.
Right.
You know, so I didn't think anything of it. And I thought, yeah, I've done that so many times already. I've given the plane, I've been playing with the up line and shortening the up line over and
Shorten
over
your
again.
up line. Shorten your up line a little bit.
Yeah, I've done that about
Not in a sweet spot, you know, of up and down.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I've
then-
done that so many times. I can't tell you. Even I can get a witness from Carl,
Yeah.
and especially Joe. Joe has seen me shorten the up line over and over and over again. So I mean, that's why I just went home and I was just like, this is like craziness.
you have to be comfortable inverting, you know, your flight where you want to be. And then, then make sure your handle feels neutral. And then after that doesn't work, then you can do like what they were saying, put more bias in your handle, move your up line up higher to give you more hit. But check your flaps. You check the elevator anyway, the push rod flexing.
Yeah, I will check all that. I think that's a I mean, I've tried everything else, right? So I'm willing to try all different kinds of things. The saying, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that's insanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
tell you a little trick that's worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for you on this one, but when I've done the same thing so many times and I keep going up and feel like I'm going up and back and spinning my wheels, what I've done, take that set of wires and handle and leave them at home and take another handle and lines out there. Start from scratch. Just start
that's
over.
An idea.
Because I've had it before where one of the lines had stretch in it and the other one didn't. And all it was, I had pulled one line and got interrupted and didn't pull the other one. And one was stretching a little bit and it was driving me completely Hermantile. And I got back home, Vicky says, did you ever pull that other line? Well, the lines don't stretch enough to hardly measure it. I mean, you're talking little bitty measurements, but it's enough to give you a funny feel in the handle, and it's enough. So just try another set of lines.
Very interesting. Now, but those lines, I've actually used those lines before. Actually, I borrowed them from one of my other planes. I don't know which one. I put a note in the bag. Go, this is.
Grab another. Get you another set of lines. Get you another set of lines and another handle. Go out there and start from scratch. If nothing else, at least you won't feel like you're chasing your tail.
Yeah, that's an idea. That's a good idea, Phil.
So
a lot of this is head games.
About a couple more things. Sometimes if you're with a pusher prop, the outside maneuvers tend to be give you a little bit extra line tension. Okay, with more line tension, you get more control. On the inside maneuvers, the opposite is also true. It takes away some line tension. And if you take away some line tension, it's going to be more sluggish and slower and stuff like that. Maybe because of in the past, you might have been used to the normal props, right?
Yeah.
And we are so used to the feel of the plane with the normal prop with a little bit of extra line tension on the inside, a little bit less line tension on the outside, kind of build up a flying style where you give it less control on the inside and a little bit more on the outside. That could be an idea. Try to feel the line tension normal flight and invert it if one is looser and one is tighter.
That's an idea.
There might be a warp in a wing, simple as that.
Those are all good ideas. But remember, when I first flew the plane, I flew it with a tractor prop, and I noticed it turned quicker on outsides from the very beginning, the very first flight.
Okay. Was it as bad as now, or is it less?
Yes, it's about as bad as it is now. I mean,
Okay,
it might be a little bit better with everything I've been doing, but it's still dramatically too fast on outsides compared to insides.
Yeah.
And the ring looks good level too. You know, it's
Yeah. I mean, to me, it looks fine. And then I've had Joe Mata and Carl both look at it, and they both, I think Carl saw something a little bit that Joe didn't mention, but for the most part, it's flying flat and level, right, Carl?
Yeah, for the most part. I can't remember what it was I told you.
Yeah, you have to watch it in the maneuvers too.
Yeah, but
You
I
know,
mean,
when you go in a loop or something like that, you go on the top of the loop and it's kind of looser. It's going to accentuate whatever the problem is.
They haven't. Joe might have an idea. Hey, Joe Mata, why don't you come on in the show? You're probably listening. But Joe Mata has seen that plane fly more than anybody besides me.
Yeah.
so upright and inverted, it's level.
Oh yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah. Just. Oh, and Lynn, you're muted, Lynn. Well, I have some comments in the chat box, you guys. Hang on a second. Mike Regel says, how do you form that? Is it poured into a mold? He's talking about you, Tryon. Or he just retracted that. Sorry, Mike Regel. I was trying to read it and you retracted. Okay, and then Will Davis, he says, Charles, are you using an APC 12.6 F2B? It's different from the 12.6 pusher. I've only used I've used both. I've used both the 12.6 tractor and the 12.6 pusher, and both times they were APC props. Will Davis, thanks for coming in, and Mike Regel, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Very
So,
strange.
Mark Lumen, I know that I know you know a lot. What do you think?
I am just a newbie at everything. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, the bias in that, thinking mechanically, and that's something I can think, not from experience, but you know, with this stuff, but thinking mechanically, you know, it seems like it has to do with movement, obviously. I mean, and if the handle bias, like they were talking about, this way, yeah, and just something I would check, again, not from experience, but just thinking, trying to think out loud, is put the handle in your hand, yeah, and see where the lines are in relation to your knuckles. I mean, are they this wide and this way, or is it that way?
Right now, my handle is not, the line spacing is not biased in any way right now.
They're even.
They're even. I haven't gone that route. I've done that before, and I don't really like doing that. And it's so different that I don't think I can fine tune it by just biasing the line spacing. Maybe I can, but I haven't tried biasing the line
I
spacing.
think you can.
Yeah.
I definitely think you can.
I would think a 20-second line spacing check, it would definitely be better than 5 hours of changing everything else.
I don't like carving the airplane up if I don't have to, and cutting it open and changing that. Go the easy route first. You can always put the handle back in 2 minutes. You can't redo the airplane again in 2 minutes.
Well, you know, I'm actually thinking that there's might be something wrong with the stab. I just want to verify it. And to me, it'd be no big deal to cut the rudder off. And then there's a top block on top of the stab. This is an ARF. That top block it's already there. I can see the seam. I could just cut it and remove it and fix it.
I always go for the easy fix first. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I had a friend there. I didn't mention this. I had a friend who noticed, now this might not make any sense, but he noticed that the outboard stab appeared to be, when you look at the leading edge to the trailing edge of the elevator, it seemed to be going down on the outboard side, and the inboard side looked straighter. where the leading edge of the stab going back to the trailing edge of the elevator, it looked
Charles,
like
you know how we told you to take it and pin it down and put the instance meter on it, put it on the far out on the inboard and as far out on the outboard as you can, and that'll tell you, the instance meter will tell you right quick.
Yeah. So,
but if that's the case, you got to get that out.
Yeah, it looks like there was, and when Stuart Mossman, that's the guy that gave me this Walkerman combat plane. When he saw that, and I was like, oh, I see it. And then he showed another guy, Greg Hill, who, I don't know, Howard, you probably know Greg Hill, right, Howard? Anyways, Greg Hill he's like eagle eyes. I mean, and he could see it too.
Well, if that's a problem, that could definitely be a problem. Because that's the same as having the elevator pointed, the stab pointed down. It's going to make the plane, well, I think you want to climb that, make you want to help the inside.
I know, that's what Steve Hines said. Well, what you're saying, Charles, that makes it should turn quicker on insides. I understand.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Do you have a log of everything you're doing like Wendy does?
On every plane but the SV-11. Because I've been doing 1 minute flights. I mean, it's such a fast clip. And I was just anxious to get this done and yesterday. And so I just haven't been logging these. I've been keeping, mental, I've been adjusting this, adjusting that. I mean, I can tell you what things I've done, but it's not like my flight log on my Strega is much more detailed. Every single flight and not Strega has been detailed.
I got another thing to ask you.
Yeah.
When you static set your handle and you have a good helper and you set it for neutral, right? Does the plane fly neutral? Is it flying neutral, or is the elevator a little up or a little down? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I normally, if I discover that, Al, what I normally do is I trim that out. I'll adjust I have a hard point handle. Right. And I'll just put a longer or shorter clip until I'm pretty much holding it neutral and the plane's flying neutral.
Right, and it feels but I know I fly some planes, sometimes when they're flying, and then you have to have the same helper. You have to have a good helper, and then the next time you say, is the elevator perfectly level, or is it a little up, or is it a little down? When you hold it, when you're holding it, and then you see how the plane flies. Then you have to adjust it. When you're using clips, you have to make your clip a little longer, a little where you're really comfortable. But you should, most planes, they're always a little bit different. The elevator's one way than the other.
Right. And what I typically do, Al, is when I have my helper, I will ask him the first time, is it up or down? And I'll get it set up. Yeah. And then after that, then I just do it dynamically. In other words, if I'm flying, if I feel I'm having to hold the handle a little bit more, then I'll adjust it accordingly. I don't necessarily have him hold the plane again for me. It's just the very first time. And then I just do everything else dynamically.
Because the way you described it, you said you had to give it some down to bring the plane up. So after you put the incidents in, it sounds to me like your plane was tracking higher, upright, and then flying lower inverted. You said you had to give it more down to bring it up.
Yeah, I had to, when I came out of, I did a regular loop, and I came out, I recovered inverted, and it was going down. I had to actually give it a little bit more down to level it out. But right. I wasn't surprised because I had given the motor up incidents, so I didn't think anything of it. And I've been dealing with, adjusting the handle. I mean, I've just that handle, I haven't documented it. I don't know how many flights I have, short 1 minute and 20-second flights. I can't tell you how many I have, but I've been adjusting the handle and adjusting the push rods and and nothing seems to have really, oh, that's a big improvement, or encouraging, where it's like, after a while, it's like, oh, yeah, it's just a little bit better. It's not, something's not right.
Okay. Well, try to get that, your handle, your spacing comfortable first before you put any bias in, where you feel when you're inverted, you feel good. You don't have to give any extra down to bring it up or any extra up to bring it
Well,
down.
I agree. I totally agree.
Let
because
that right first. And then
I'll do that.
Try to center the belt crank to your handle. And,
Right.
and then, as you're flying. And then double check it when you're static, because so the next time, and you guys just, well, you have a little bit of down in the elevator, but that's the way it's flying nice.
Right.
You leave it that way. And then you do like then what Len said, say, well, I need a little bit more bias, I need more up. So you raise the spacing up higher on the up line to give you more
To
throw.
give you a little more throw. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I just went through all this, so I know I know the pain you're going through.
I appreciate it.
And
I know
thought
it's
my
just,
problem was the push rod was flexing.
yeah,
And then when I
that makes,
fixed the push rod, the thing would turn like it's on a dime. I was like, holy crap! I couldn't even fly the plane level. Now I have to, now I have to take it all out. I'm going back to the beginning.
yes, go back to the beginning.
I
Yes,
squashed my spacing back down.
I understand. I totally understand that.
And then I discovered the push rod. I put the carbon fiber sleeve over the push rod, and then I go, holy shit, this thing's turning like my combat plane,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, see, that's that's a wonderful feeling when you fixed it and you're on the right track, right?
Yeah,
okay, now I'm
now I have to go back to square one again.
Yeah, so I haven't experienced that. It's just been more of the same. It's just been frustrating.
And when you
today,
find
I was so frustrated. I just, like I said, after one flight, I just took it home. I was like, enough of this crap.
Yeah, well, that's the best thing to do. Go home, think
Hey,
about
Charles.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles. Have you thought about, I know you said you're doing 1 minute flights, and this is not speaking of experience, but just logic, is instead of doing a 1 minute flight where you're so crunched up, turn it up to 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes so you can get more handle time.
Yeah, it's just so night and day. It's not, it's so apparent. It is just like, it is just unbelievably noticeable when I turn the inside and I do the outside. It's so much quicker. It doesn't take me, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's not a whole lot of time, but it's like, it doesn't take long to figure out that it's turning a lot quicker than on outsides than insides.
Gotcha.
It's just, I really, when Stuart Mossman and Greg Hill saw the stabbed elevator today, it's something that, piqued my interest. I'm like, maybe that might be, well, it definitely needs to be fixed. I think. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, Will Davis has a comment here. He says 12.6 F2B is a pusher too. Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's an APC 12.6 pusher prop. That's what it is that I have on it right now.
That's what I've got on my plane, but I've got it cut down to an 11.
It's the engine run and the performance of the plane is very nice. I don't have any issue with the performance of the plane, the pull.
Yeah,
the engine is the electric engine, the motor, everything is, it's
works good.
It works good. It's
Well, Dennis and I were talking about it, and he was talking about a Vector 40, and he was talking about the setup, and he said everybody wants to run a 12.6 on it, but why? And I thought, well, because it flies so well. But I cut one down to an 11.6, and now I'm wondering why the heck did I have a 12.6 on there? It's other than it was straight out of the box and didn't have to mess with the prop, but cut down to an 11.6, it's a lot crisper turns.
Oh, yeah.
But I wish I knew.
Diameter, it's always a better turn.
Phil? This is an electric
Small
setup
diameter, you get
about?
better turn.
Yeah,
Smaller prop, better turn. That's true.
Yeah, with an electric, you can work around that prop, but with an IC motor, you pretty much have to work around the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These motors have so much more torque than what we're using. It's not even funny. Shoot. Charles, I think if it was mine, I would do like I told you. I'd put that thing in something where it can't move and weight it down enough to where it's going to sit there. And then I'd put popsicle sticks or something across the elevator and lock it down. And then I check the instance on the inside and I check the instance on the outside. You got to get that straight. And then I check the instance on the elevators to the flaps, over the whole wing and flap everything. And I think I'd probably check the wings inside and outside, make sure there's no warp in that wing. And then check the instance. I'd write stuff down as I went because it's blocked down. It's not going to move. Now check the instance on the elevator, the propeller, and see how much up you've got in there, how much down you've got it. But if you've got up in it, that's not going to make the outside turn better. So it's got to be either in that elevator. It's either got to be in the elevator or warp, or you've got the elevator in there canted.
You mean the stab, right?
Stab an elevator, or the wings warped. Because if you've got a carbon fiber push rod in that thing, no, it's not the carbon fiber push rod. I'm running a little tiny one on my Ringmaster here that's so darn little I had to drill it out to put threaded rod, 440 threaded rod in. And there's no way that's not strong enough.
Yeah, the length. I'm not sure how long that's.
It's only about that long. It's not very long. There's no way that's flexing enough to give you trouble. When the guys get in here, I want to show y'all something. I finally finished my Ringmaster.
Oh, really?
I kept talking to it.
Oh, well, we can change the subject.
I finally finished it. It's
yeah, bring it. I like to see it.
Let me turn this around and I'll see if I can get it where y'all can see it. If I don't tear it up doing this.
Yeah, don't do that.
When people came up with the word klutz, they had me described pretty well.
Oh, that looks pretty. You make it big for everybody.
Get it back far enough where you can see.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty. Oh, that
nice.
is really
Nice work.
Yeah, everybody. The
very
local
nice.
guys are telling me you went a little overboard, but I just figured I'm trying to get ready to paint the ombre, and I wanted to get
very nice.
To get some practice. Yeah,
very nicely done.
And this is show you the other side. This is what I'm going to see.
Well, I like your wheels too.
Oh, thank you. I wanted something that I could see, and this ought to be something to see. But
yeah, you can see
it's also got this on here.
Yeah, very nice. Brotherhood of the Rings. Yes.
And it's so having a metal tank.
Is that wing
I tell you what, the girl.
It's very beautiful, Phil.
Thank you. The girl on the internet who sells these stickers. I got in touch with her. I texted her and asked her if she could do me a favor. And we got talking. And I told her that I'm putting it on a yellow wing and it's done with A-line dye. So when you do it, you can see through the wing when you fly through the sun or something. And it's semi-transparent. And I said, when I put your yellow sticker on there, it looks very orange, which looks a little peculiar. Could you make me a yellow one? And what would it cost me to make a yellow one? She made me the yellow ones and made me the triangles, the Ringmasters and the triangle to go on the rudder, made me 4 of them and sent them to me. So I've told y'all about that girl before, but use her because I'm telling you, she's great. She's done everything she could do to help me. So if I can find somebody that will help me, I'm going to support them all I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll find out how it flies in the morning. It's
in the morning. Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, we're going out in the morning. I just talked to Tommy a while ago, and supposed to be all 4 of the Ringmasters are supposed to be there tomorrow. So we're going to give it a try and see how it works. I got to find a set of lines for it.
That's
ironically, I can't find the lines for it. But anyway, I'm gonna fly it on the 58s that I had my old Ringmaster on.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's. I don't know. I can't see anything wrong with it. It's 30 ounces.
Wow.
Terry McDowell picked it up last Saturday and he says, it's 30. It's about 30 ounces. So I come home and I wondered, how good's Terry's arm? I mean, he hadn't flown too much in a while now. So let's see. So I come home, put it on the scale, 30 ounces. I don't know what that boy's got for a left arm, but I think he's got a scale hidden in there somewhere.
Very nice.
Did you steal some of Billy's wood?
Well,
That filled stuff of
this
Billy's?
is a Ringmaster Light. I mean, it's the plans that are out for the Ringmaster Light. It's a molded leading edge, 1/16 molded. It's the ribs are full ribs, are not. I didn't go New Millennium. It's full ribs on it, but it has a. The spar is 1/8 inch by 1/2 inch, and then there's two of them, and there's an I-beam, a 332 I-beam in between them. It said 1/16. I used 332 because I had some really nice 332 that was too small of chunks to use for anything else and just big enough to do this. I said, what the heck? Why waste the wood? So I used it for that. But the trailing edge was a piece of wood that I got a new saw, a Dremel saw, and I said, it's not new by any means. It's probably 40 years old, but I just got it working again. And I said, I wonder if I can cut this piece of wood. So it's funny, you can take one square piece of wood, not really square, but one piece of wood and cut two molded trailing edges, just, cut it one time and you got a pie over here and a pie over here going the other way. And it worked. So I took a little sanding, but it all worked out. But to be honest, I've been collecting wood for, I don't know how many years. I've got a few pieces of real good wood, and I did use some of it in this plane because I knew Tommy was building a new plane. I thought just once I want to keep up with Tommy, and I did.
Bill,
And I've got he's got a real light tongue muffler on his, and I've got a Taytone peace pipe on this one because I just like the looks of them. Everybody else hates them. I love it. I don't know what it is. Let me get it out.
What motor do you have on there?
It's a Taytone. It's a Taytone peace pipe, and it's now it's very modified. Y'all don't know me that well, but where did it go?
Hang on.
I modify the heck out of everything, but that is a very
nice.
cleaned up and very reworked Taytone peace pipe.
Yeah, it looks good.
Well,
What
thank you.
engine is that?
It's a OS 25 FP.
Oh, an FP. Okay.
Very
A whole lot
nice.
smoother. It's a whole lot smoother power than a Fox 35. Makes more power than a Fox 35 and runs
By
on
far.
half the fuel. Runs on half the fuel. So
Yeah.
it's they're just trouble free. I mean, you get an OS 25 and put it in a plane you've had a Fox 35 in, and get it running right and get it to where to pull the plane. And it's not an electric, but it's the closest thing to it I found in an IC.
Well,
As long as you put good fuel in it, it'll give you a good service.
Would a
I've got three.
FP20 work on a Ringmaster?
FP20? Sure.
I
No
think
problem.
it would.
No
I think it
problem.
would. I've got a 20 going on my new Skyray, and because the guy that did the rework on the plane, Brett Buck, I think it is, said that he had a 20 on his, so I put a 20 on my new one. And the guys are all telling me that it's not enough, but I think it is. If two 15s will pull a Pathfinder, then I don't see any reason why 20 won't pull that airplane.
Oh, yeah. An FP20 has lots of power. It's gobs of power. Oh, yeah.
What are you trying to show us?
I picked up my $15 Sterling Ringmaster kit. So,
Okay. Virtual background was kind of interfering with your.
That makes.
I'll tell you a weird one about the Sterling Ringmaster. I had one of those old original Sterling Ringmasters that had a clear plastic canopy on it.
Yeah.
I gave it to a friend of mine. It hadn't been 4 days. I had a guy call me and offer me $125 for it.
Oh,
anyway, that's the way it goes.
Wow. Hey, Steven,
I'm gonna
thanks
mute
for
this
coming in,
because my
buddy.
dog is over here having a fit.
Hey, Charles, how we doing? Thank you.
You guys, I have some comments on the chat box. I can't believe this, but Samuel Lonke, he's in the chat box this evening.
Right, Sammy.
He says in the combat world, we would adjust the push rod length. You're right. If it's turning faster one way than the other, that's right, Sam. That's what we do. And we also do that. I do that in the stunt world too. And then John Lytle, I think that's how you say it. He says, my wrist has more down than up. Well, so does mine. I have more down than up. So anyways, he says that it took me 10 years to see this. So my planes used to turn outside better. Yes. As a matter of fact, all my planes initially always turn faster outside. And then Steve Michele, he says, what size engine is in your Ringmaster? And good evening to everyone. Well, thank you, Steve, for coming. I think it's your first time. If not the first time, it's been a long time. Yeah, that is it's a OS Max 25 FP, and that is a good engine. And then Steve Michele says, great engine. I ditto that. And then Mike Regal, he says, I usually always watch, but I don't always comment. Well, I appreciate both you watching, Mike Regal, and you commenting. And then Mike Regal goes on to say, Charles, I think the flaps on your Strega have too much flex. That's causing problem. But we're talking about my SV11 this time, Mike Regal, and that's a thought that the flaps on my SV11 flex too much. That's a possibility. I mean, they are kind of thin, and they were kind of soft. I thought they were pretty soft when I got the kit.
Iron them real good and get all you can out of that monocoat or Econocoat.
I don't think the flaps
Seem like they would flex both ways.
soften the turn.
Yeah, they should, but
Hey, Al, good to see you.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Good.
What are you working on, Tryon?
Me?
Yeah, what you got on the table? Saw some balsa wood fly past there a while ago. So.
Oh, I just decided to say, since I'm not doing anything on the other plane and I'm here with you guys, I must just use my time do useful work on it. And this is the fuselage sides. I'm prepping the fuselage sides for the Vector.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it looked like. That's what I recognize that.
This is obviously, this is the elevator I made with you guys on screen in one of the chats a while ago. This is the elevator that's built in and has the carbon reinforcements underneath it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. The multi-directional you put in the.
That light is so bright, Tryon, and it just makes everything white.
Click.
There we go.
Now it's too dark.
No,
and I cannot see anything I'm working on.
Show us,
Great.
just show us again what you were trying to show us. We just couldn't see it. It was all white. Just show it again.
Okay.
show the elevator again, Tryon.
Cheers.
Not that, the elevator.
Phil,
I know what that
The
looks
elevator
like. I even know what it tastes
blinded
like.
us with brightness. Just show us the elevator. Or
Show us
stab
the
again.
elevator, stab again.
Oh, that's better.
Oh yeah,
There
very
we go.
nice. Now we can see it. See, now we can see the
what's
carbon
different
fiber.
on this one, it has a, as you can see, it's like the ball sign in the center for the trailing edge.
Yeah,
And you have the cap strips on the top and the bottom.
nice. Wow.
Very good.
And in between them, if you can see,
Carbon fiber.
It's a carbon fiber, yeah.
Yeah.
And
very
I've also done the same thing in between the
Nice.
ribs too.
Wow. See, we couldn't see any of that detail because of the bright light, but now we can see it all. That is awesome.
That is outstanding.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
That's right. That is outstanding. That's a lot of work.
And it's
Guys,
on
his-
the leading edge too. And the
His
actual leading
craftsmanship.
edge is a molded piece of balsa.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
what? I think
Craftsmanship.
I'm gonna try that on my Novanta when I get going. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
the leading edge is a single piece of balsa that goes all the way around to here.
Wow,
That's
old.
Tryon.
That's a 1/16 piece of balsa.
Very nice.
And I want to tell like the stiffness of this thing and torsionally and like this is just very, very good.
Is that ½ inch all the way, like same thickness, one end to the other?
No, it's a 1/4 inch.
Okay, quarter, no, but I mean, is it, I didn't
It's
know what
1/4
the
inch
thickness.
with 1/16, so it's 3/8.
Okay, 3/8, all the way, right? One end to
Yeah.
the other? Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I
No
was
taper.
asking.
No taper.
No taper, okay. That's
No,
good.
just the
That's good.
3/8 flat.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's how I do them too. I like the flat.
Yeah, and you can
This
see
stuff looks
here
as
the
good.
cap strips.
Very nice.
This stuff looks as pretty up close as it does on TV, I'm telling you.
That looks incredible. I mean, that's amazing. And you got the
It does some pretty
geodetic
work.
ribbing, and then you got it's almost like I-beam geodetic ribs on the staff. That's incredible.
Yeah, but yeah, basically the ribs are a 1/8 inch width, but they have the cap strips on top of them.
Perfect.
So kind of the idea was that if you build a regular elevator and you put your zigzag in there, right?
Right.
You can start with the trailing edge and leading edge and put a straight piece on top of them. Boom, boom, right?
Right.
And now you have a nice flat piece of carbon that goes in a straight direction. There's no waviness in it, right? It's just a straight line, right? And I did the same thing on the leading edge. So I have the same thing on the leading edge. Now, when I came with the carbon fiber in this direction, it sits on top of the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is that
okay.
unidirectional carbon fiber or is that tow?
It's just uni.
Wow.
Yeah, anything is gonna work this is 100 grams per square inch, per square meter, unidirectional. You can get pretty much anything is gonna work, as long as you put something in there. Okay.
So on each geodetic rib, is there 2 pieces of carbon fiber? One on
Yep.
the top, one on the bottom? Okay. Same as
Yeah,
the leading and trailing edge.
Look.
Good. Oh,
Okay.
You can see it
Yeah.
now.
That's phenomenal. Okay. Cool.
And the
Wow.
same, because what you do, you transfer the stress here and transfer on the bottom, right? Just like this. And because of that, this is very stiff in this direction,
Super
right?
stiff. Gotta be.
And now because I have it on top of these ribs here,
Yeah.
then it gives you a good torsional stiffness as well.
That's phenomenal. Well done.
Yeah, and the leading edge is a 1-piece molded.
Okay, I get it. That's good.
See, this is just molded all the way around. Like
What did
this.
what did you use to mold the leading edge? Just a round pipe or
You can use anything really. What I actually used, I used a 1/4 inch
dowel?
steel rod.
Piece of carbon, steel
Yeah.
rod. I thought it was carbon.
Anything that's round, really, you can use anything.
Yeah.
Really, there's no limit to that. And what I did, I just took the steel rod and I tape it to a piece of balsa wood.
Right on. Perfect.
Okay.
Out on the front. Perfect.
So you have the rod and the balsa wood, and if you have the same thickness all the way across, then that's actually what I did. I use a balsa wood that was uniform in thickness, right? And then I put the rod on top of it, and I put some Scotch tape around it. Just put the Scotch tape around it, and now you have a like a balsa stick, with the round rod on top of it, right?
Right.
And the tape the sandwiches all over. It's as simple as that. It's really not that complicated.
So you just spray the shells.
That way you make a leading edge mold for on your wing.
I'm sorry?
Same like you make a leading edge mold for your wing. You're just using that as a mold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I took a single piece of balsa wood and I got it wet, and I put it around this thing and just around. I don't really care about if it does a little bit of this or a little bit of that. Really doesn't matter, because whatever the grain is the straightest, this one was going to form around, right? It's going to stay in position. It's let me use the piece of paper for comparison, right? So when you put your balsa over the mold, you don't really care if it's a little bit like this or a little bit like that, because if it does this, that means that the grain is straight here. It is parallel, right? The grain is in the correct position, right? So what I've done after that, when I put it horizontal like this on the top of the table, when it was done, I took an X-Acto knife blade that was glued on a piece of the horizontal piece of something, right? And I just walk it around,
zip it down,
it over, and just walk it around.
Perfect.
And that works great. I mean, just for balsa wood stuff like that. I'm not sure how much it weighs. I mean, if you're curious, and I mean, I just
put
build
these-
them. I don't really care much about the weight of things and stuff like this. So
Those are just carbon fiber strips that you put in there, those stiff carbon fiber strips.
yes, yeah. So the idea is that after you build your elevator just normal, like you normally do, right?
Right.
Just put a leading edge, a trailing edge, put a zigzag, right? In my case, I just have a 1/8 inch by 1/4 inch leading edge piece in here, right?
Okay.
Right.
And I didn't care about the. All right, so then I put my unidirectional right on top of it with 3M77, and I've shown you guys this many times, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
just take
wherever
your
it's going around.
unidirectional, take a straight edge, and just cut strips out of it. Just cut it with an X-Acto knife and a straight edge. And you take this 3M77, which is a spray contact cement, and just very lightly hit it. And you take this thing and just drop it right on top of the balsa wood, right? And I'm not even bothered gluing it in there at that time. I'm not doing that yet, right? So I'm putting my trailing edge, my leading edge, and then I'm cutting the short strips and go like that, on the top of the ribs. Boom, 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 on side, right? And then what I do, I come with a trailing edge, a strip, and just lay it down in there, and I glue that in, and actually I tack it in a few spots, right? With the thin CA. That's
Thin CA, yeah.
That's the trick, that you want to use thin CA for this stuff. So then I have that I have the trailing edge, and I put the cap strips, same thing. Then I'm putting no, not the cap strips. I put the leading edge first, right? Put the trailing edge sheet, and put the leading edge that wraps all the way around. And you can flip it over, do the trailing edge again. So now all you have to do is just put the cap strips in place.
Yeah, that's good.
And what I've done, I didn't use any epoxy in here, right? To set in the carbon fiber in place, because if you use thin CA, it's going to weaken into the crack, right?
Right.
And it's going to go everywhere. And guess where it's going to go? The carbon fiber is going to absorb it very easily. And then it's going to glue the top, the bottom, and the carbon fiber in between them. Okay?
Right.
So you don't really want to use any epoxy on the carbon fiber. Just
it's too heavy
in there so it stays in place, and that's all you need. And once you have that, just kind of use the thin CA, allow it to wick inside, and saturate the stuff. And then it's as simple as that.
The epoxy is too heavy. You don't want to use epoxy. It's too heavy to use for that.
I just like how stiff it makes that stab. That's phenomenal.
No, the carbon, those things do. I use
It's
them.
probably as stiff, or if not stiffer, than a fully sheeted piece of balsa wood.
For sure.
And you take it, you just tip it at an angle so you let the thin CA run into the crack.
All right, Trey, and I got a dumb question for you though. Why do you say you're not working on the other plane? What's going on?
What?
Why are you not working on Revolutions?
Oh yeah, I am. But this is the time, when I'm talking with you guys, I don't have,
Oh, okay. I thought maybe
I
something
don't want to
happened
do
and you
that.
weren't
And
working
plus,
on
it
it.
takes more time than I have allotted for. Right.
Yeah.
So right now I'm kind of like I want to do some testing and stuff like that, and I want to do the testing first before I do. Well, I commit to the to making of the model, right?
Okay. Well, I was going to tell you whenever you get to that point, I finally got my truck back.
Oh, awesome, man! All right, so this is for your information. If you're curious, this whole thing is 27 grams.
Wow.
You good?
Wow.
Wow.
Good wood.
That is good wood, and it's very light construction. That's good.
Yeah, and it's stiff, so I really like it.
Yeah, I've held that thing, and it is very stiff and very nice. He does beautiful work. You're still a hippie.
And I also showed you this. Yeah, this. I think this. I did this with you guys on. it's right here. So in here, what I was worried about is about the torsional stiffness of this piece.
Right.
So what I've done, I've just inserted a tube of carbon fiber in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So now, even if I have some flex in it, it's going to be equal on both sides because of the
Right.
tube is going to flex equally. And
That's neat.
That probably doesn't
Yeah.
even register.
and this guy is 6 grams.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's
Very
6
nice.
grams.
The paint to cover it'll double the weight. Good grief.
That's
That is nice, Tran.
Very nice. Now, this is for the vector.
yeah. Yeah, I did
Great.
move away from the, but you know, there's so many ways of doing stuff. You know, that's stiff and rigid and stuff like that. So, one technique I used to use is I had a mold. I made a mold that had like a parallel side, like 1/8 of an inch, and about 1 inch wide. And from that point, the two halves would just split like this, right?
Okay.
Would taper in one direction, this would taper in the other direction.
All right.
So what I did, I took my 2 pieces of 1/16 like this, and I shoved them inside, and then I used some triangular piece of balsa, and I would just push it open like this,
Right.
with a triangular piece that went underneath it, until I would stay on the mold, and the mold has this shape, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
And then on this side here, I just use a 4-inch piece of balsa, and I just butt it against the triangular pieces, and I would take that piece of balsa on the leading edge and just pull it in, right? So I had the 1/16 sheet, 1/16 sheet, a 1/4 inch in the front, and a triangular stock in between them. No trailing edge, right?
Wow.
And
Nice idea.
and then, because it's like this, if you take sanding paper and just sand it flat over here, it's gonna take and kind of straighten up, if it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I used to make my elevator in the past, and they were super light and very stiff too, because it's a full sheet of balsa wood in there. And if you have sheet of balsa over sheet of balsa in a triangular layout, it's very stiff torsionally and everything else you want to have in there. And you don't really care a whole lot about, you know, how pretty it is on the inside, right? So I can draw a quick picture to show how the mold look like. It's exaggerating, obviously, right? And this was made with balsa wood, right? So it looks something like that. Give me a second. So this was the mold, right?
Right.
And I had one for elevators and I had one for flaps too. And the beauty of this is that you have a land surface here, which about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch here. Here, about 3/8. You see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is about 3/8 of an inch, and the distance from here to the leading edge is like you can get it from any plants, right? Your regular plants.
Right.
And if you want to have an elevator with a little bit more taper, a little bit less taper, you can always trim it off from this end. Make sense?
Right.
So you are not stuck with one elevator per se. And what I did is here's another drawing here. Actually, that's a bad line. This is more like it. Okay, so this is like a piece of plywood that would glue in between the two halves, which is this piece right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you measure from here to here and from here to here, you can give it a little bit more slope, a little bit less slope, whatever you anticipate you're going to build, right? And then you can also give it some kind of a span, a wingspan, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then by just taking your wing and your elevator, just slightly do work on this side of it, you're going to have something that's a little bit narrow, right? You can work on this side of it, you have something that's a little bit wider, depending on what you have on the plans. And and you can also draw a line. Here's the trick here, right? So what you want to do in here on the outside, you draw a line right here. Yeah, you draw a line right here. In this, in that position, right? So you can easily measure from here to here, and you know it's always gonna be a 1/4 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So depending where you are in here, let's say this is the plywood, right? And that's another 3/8 of an inch. Hang on, let's do this. So this is the 3/8 land. Okay. So you have the 3/8 land, the plywood that holds the two halves of the mold together, right? What you do, you measure like, actually your elevator is going to stick up about a 1/4 of an inch here. This is where it's going to end up. Kind of like that, right? And actually your shape of your elevator is going to be from this line to that line. Okay, this is your top view of the elevator, basically. So what you do, you cut 2 pieces of balsa wood that have that shape. And what I used to do, I was using some wax paper. So I would put a piece of balsa on top of each other, get wax paper, and just fold it over. So I have like a sandwich with a wax paper that goes all the way around it. And you just go and you just push it all the way in, right? So you push it all the way in, boom, right?
Yeah.
So now you have 2 pieces of balsa that's going to sit like this. Now what you want to do, this let's say the palms of my hand go in that 3/8 of an inch area, and this is going to be spread out, and the distance on the bottom is going to be 1/4 of an inch, like that, right?
Right.
So your inside is going to be an 1/8 because your 2/16 are going to make up the rest of it. Okay.
Yeah, and you just have to decide where you're going to put your ribs, right? So let's say you want to put a rib in here, you just look on the outside, just measure from here to here, right? And you cut your rib, which is a 1/4 inch wide, and that has this overall length. And you just take it and just slide it in, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Slide it in. You don't have to glue anything at this time, right? And take another one, make another one, slide it in, slide them in, slide them in, slide them in, slide them in on the wingtips if you want to. Make like a 3/8 wide. So you can sand off, shape, whatever, you know. But everything else can be like a 1/16 of an inch, right? So what you just did now, you just have the original balsa and just open it up against the mold, right? And all of these ribs are going to start here, going to end here. So you have another 1/4 of an inch that's an open area, right? And what you do first, you know, take some thin CA, just let it wick inside, boom, and glue this stuff inside, and let it wick on the trailing edge this way too. So now you have the ribs and the trailing edge locked in, and now we need the leading edge. So we just slide in a piece of balsa like this in between the top and the bottom. You take your fingers and you just squeeze them in gently, and just stack it in with a thin CA. You just work your way down from one end to the other one. And now you have, all you have to do just just trim the excess and you know, put some 45 top and bottom, make a hinge pocket, done.
Very nice.
So yeah, and I had the obviously you can have a mold like this for the elevator and have a longer one for the flaps.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the cool part of it is symmetric. It's flexible. You can make a flaps for a Strega, and next time around you can go and make a flaps for an SV, or you can make it for a Vector, right? Because the mold may be this big, it has some taper to it, but to say, well, the Vector has this dimension, this dimension, this dimension, and you look at your mold like, well, that's kind of this dimension over here, and that's the dimension over here. I have this span over here. I can buy and play a little bit on this 3/8 of an inch area, right? To give it a little bit more, a little bit less, and say, I'm just going to use this side of the mold from here to here. And you just work with that side. You know, you don't have to use the whole thing. Or you have a little bit wider flaps or something like that. Now on a different plane, it's just still like a vectory side, and then probably want to work with this area here, right? And that's what I did. Yeah. So all my I think all my SV planes were built like that with this kind of flaps. Super light, much lighter than anything you're gonna have.
Are you going to do that on the Vector? For the flaps, you can do that for the flaps.
The flaps. I don't have the molds anymore, so I'm probably gonna do something simple. I'm just gonna use the flaps in a box, which is a sheet of balls or something like that. I'm happy enough for that.
Okay. All right.
But I want the tail to keep the tail pretty light.
Yeah. Well, you're on your way. I mean, 27 grams and 6. That's about 12 grams in the elevators and 27 in the stab. Yeah, it's pretty damn light. I mean, of course, you still need to put hinges and hardware and flaps, but
but my hinges are made out of Kevlar, so
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Don't weigh anything.
Yeah, I forgot.
They're not gonna have
about
much
that.
of anything.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, your horn.
Yeah.
Here's your hinges.
I got Mark
finally.
I love them. Yeah.
I use those
Thank you,
hinges. I use those hinges on the new hole shot, and I've already got 4 people asking me, why in the heck are you building a hole shot? I said, well, because I like the looks of it. That's the only excuse I've got is I like the looks of it. So I built one.
That's what we do.
Yeah. I just think it's a really cute little airplane.
You guys, excuse me 1 second. Hey, Bill, what are you working on, Bill?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's an old plane. I'm resurrecting. I moved into a new place about a year ago, and I'm just getting back in.
Oh, good.
Essentially, it's a 60 size Nobler.
Oh wow, very cool.
I've had a few of those. They fly well.
I've got a picture of one. Let me try to pull it up.
All right, thank you, Bill.
I've got.
That's the one you were working on a while ago, right? You started?
I started it before I moved to the new place.
Right.
So let me see what I can do here.
It's good to see you again.
Sure. You too, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. It says I can't share. Charles.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll fix that, Bill.
Okay.
It's me. Let me fix that real quick. Hang on.
All right. This is all.
Well, just make your screen big.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Now you can share. Everybody can share now.
All right. Just photos. Select. All right, this is my first attempt, Charles. So see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. Well, it looks like I've got it. It shows that I should have it up.
No, we just
hold
see you still.
Oh, all right. Well, let's try again. Yeah. This may take a minute, Charles. Let me
Okay, no problem.
work on it.
No problem. Yeah, let me know when you have it up. And
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Phil, what prop do you have on your FP on the Ringmaster? What are you using?
That particular one I'm starting with is a 9.6. It's an old Bali. I bought a half a dozen of them before I knew they were becoming extinct, and it's on there right now. But the first flight will probably be with a 9.6, but it's probably an APC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got a suggestion for you.
Okay.
let me make you big, Al. Hang on a second.
That's the plans I saw last.
That's the 9.6 by 3.75.
Right.
By 3.75.
Yep.
Holy smoke.
Who makes that
The
prop,
guys are telling me
Al?
the guys are.
Oh, that is so pretty.
That's nice.
That is beautiful, man.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he has the plane picture up.
The
Oh, it's up?
Nobler.
That's the
Oh,
first.
It's up.
Your plans are up. Your fuselage is up.
Oh, I see the fuselage now. Yeah. Oh, that's a
good.
nice looking plane.
I
Okay,
just
good.
stuck that elevator all the
swoopy.
way to the top of that balsa. I'll just move it
Mine
up.
wasn't
Like,
quite that.
Yeah.
Mine
Looks
wasn't
like a
quite that
cross
swoopy.
between
I
a
like that.
Gieske and a Vector.
Yeah,
That's the 60 Nobler.
It's just a generic 60 size. I call it a Nobler, but it kind of looks like a.
Hey, if anybody's got any questions, just put your name in front of it and call it a Nobler, you know.
Well, I mean, it kind of looks like one, but it's really not based off a Nobler. But
Doesn't matter.
I named it the Fulcrum because I kind of like the name Fulcrum.
I do too. That's
Right.
nice.
Let's see what happens with it.
Oh, very cool, Bill.
it's beautiful, man.
I'm glad to see you back into it and building.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
I tell you a good one on names. I had designed a plane back in the early 70s, and I wanted to call it the Stardust. I never finished the plane because I wanted to find the print off the original Stardust Hotel in Las Vegas. I couldn't find it. I finally found it. Found an old picture of the Stardust sign, and I put the lettering on the wing just like that. Took the plane out to go fly it, and there was 3 other planes at the field that were all called Stardust. I took it to the Nats that year, and there was 3 other Stardust.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Stardust by Ed Caponelli?
Yeah.
Caponelli had one. The guy from Houston, Texas, that was the head of Pampa for a long time, he had one, and maybe he was. Yeah, I think he was Pampa president for a few years. Had one. I can't call his name. It'll come to me in a minute. Frank McMillan. Frank's a great guy. I'm sorry I forgot his name, but I have days I can remember everything, and I have days I just can't think of words or names or whatever. Anyway, but there was another one there. There was 3 Stardust there, not counting mine.
Wow, that's amazing.
I said, well, I think I'll leave mine in the car. I saw Frank's, and I left mine in the car. Frank is a heck of a craftsman.
Yes, he is. Hey, Bill, thanks for sharing, Bill. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for
Really
asking.
nice.
It's fine. All right. Anyway, there it is. Kind of see it, I guess.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Robert? Well.
Good looking ringmaster too.
Thanks.
Oh, any of you that are wondering about a molded leading edge for a ringmaster, just take the stock one and use it as a mold.
Oh, that's cheating. That's be too big.
Yeah, you can always do a leading edge like the same way like I did on this one. And use a bigger diameter rod of some sort and mold it and cut it out and you can do like just maybe an inch both sides and do the rest of it like a 2-piece kind of deal. So you have the leading edge and another sheet on top, the sheeting on the bottom.
And Bill, I saw that Ringmaster. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll get back in the air too.
Good deal.
Robert, what are you building, Robert? Robert Whitney, what is that?
I'm just working on one of my version 2 of my RSTs. So while we were sitting here, I figured I may as well do something. So I did the sunburst.
Oh, very pretty.
That's cool. I like that.
Very
That's
nice.
nice looking. What motor's going on it?
Super Tiger 36 or Super Tiger C35 stunt. I got a brand new one. Actually. Yeah, I have 4
You
of them.
know, I have 4 of those at least, and I have never run one of them.
This is another one that I haven't put the sunburst on yet. That's got the stunt 35 on it.
Does it?
I don't know if I'm going to muffler actual Super Tiger muffler, but it's kind of exposed.
I was never able to get that muffler to work. I always had to use a tongue, but a lot of people tried it around here, but they're heavy, and we never could get a even run on it. When you go into the wind, it would run different than it would going downwind. So we gave up on that muffler, but the motors are amazing. I just never got one. I never ran one, but I still have them and still plan to put them in something yet.
Yeah, the way I built the previous 6 of these, the tail is actually pretty damn stout. I've got a Kevlar full-length hinge in there buried in. And because I really didn't want the elevator horn totally exposed for every takeoff and landing, I put a sub fin on it. And
that's neat.
The original with hardwood fuselages, I used poplar, and I had death paint on it. And they ended up all really tail heavy. These things really like nose weight, or at least my flying does. And so I had to have way too much nose weight on them. So I just had a spare wing and tail assembly kicking around from when I batch ran them. So I just made a couple of fuses out of 1/4-inch RC wood with some, I put in 3 strips of toe in it, carbon fiber toe. And the nose extended 1 1/4 inches, and it came out pretty much bang on where I want it. Will be bang on with the tongue mount.
Very nice.
That's neat. That is very neat.
Like a train, so I added an extra hole on the lead outs here so I can bring it forward a bit more, maybe relieve a bit.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Looks good.
Guys, I'm going to take off for a few minutes to take my dog out. He's bouncing on both of us, and it looks like he wants to play or go out, so I'm going to take him out.
Okay.
And I'll be back in a few minutes. Be back in a few minutes.
All righty. Hey, you guys, thank you so much, Al Fierro. He's donated to the cause. He's given us a super chat. Thank you so much, Al. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey, Bill, if you want to get out, I still have the use of the IKEA lot for the time being until they start building.
Okay.
On it, they're supposed to be building an Ashley store, so I lost the total use of it. But I still got a section I can still use on it. But even though that's going on, I got prospects now on 2 other locations that I'm working on.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get something in the air and then get back flying, because now is the flying season.
Yeah.
For the southern part of the U.S. and the building season was just done. Now we can go outside since it's below 100 degrees.
Yeah. But yeah, I got 2 other fully paved sites I'm prospecting on and working on. So I'm making proposals up and trying to land on those like I did with IKEA. And other than that, they're also on for the 2022 for this year. County's supposed to give us improvements on our original field, on our Bennett field.
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully something comes up.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that'd be great. I see Mike Lonke's name, no video, but hi, Mike. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
And Tom, you must have your camera off for a reason.
And I got my addresses in the chat there for everybody that wants it, in case you want to
Yeah,
send
don't
me a
forget,
picture.
if you have a picture of you and your plane, you need to forward them to Gary Sinclair. I think Steve already paid for the shipping, right, Gary?
Well, he said he would, but I haven't received anything yet. We'll
Okay.
wait till we're done and see.
Yeah, well, we do. So if you want to help out, that'd be great. A donation toward the cause would be appreciated.
Good stuff.
And we'll be transitioning to the after party in like 9 minutes. It's 8:51. So we've had a really good show.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I was really impressed weight-wise with the Vector. It's at 37 ounces without the battery, so that's
oh, that is good.
pretty good. Yeah,
That's all finished and everything, right?
yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's really good.
So what's the all-in weight?
I hadn't weighed the battery. I just need to weigh the battery, but I can do that here in just a second. Yeah, so it'll probably end up at like 42 or 43.
And that's a Vector?
Yeah.
That's light.
It's an ARF, but you know, I was pretty impressed. It's pretty reasonable wood. Yeah.
You know, mine with an LA 46 and it weighs 48 ounces.
Right.
And then the one that I crashed was gas fuel soaked, and that was up to 53. It used to be 48, but you know,
Right.
it gained weight as you know, it had a bunch of flights on it.
Right. Yeah. This guy. I think we were talking about that one night. Yeah.
Charles, when did your 11 electric end up weighing your ARF?
66 ounces. That's everything,
Okay.
the battery and everything.
Mine with 56 in it and aluminum spinner came in, and those mods I did came in at 69 ounces.
Well, that's not bad. That's I mean a stunt ship, a 60 size stunt ship. I mean, you know, it's the lighter the better, obviously, but that's not like it's, you know, that motor at that 56 should. I've seen the SV11s fly with Super Tiger 51s, pretty good.
Yeah. If I need to, I've got a brand new 51 here also. But I'd like to stick with both of them with the 56s, partially nostalgia. You know, I've got them, and they're almost 60. I mean, they're the same block.
Yeah, it's supposedly, I've heard that the Super Tiger 56 is one of the best kept secrets in stunt.
I'll find out. I hope.
Yeah, my battery's right at like 6.5 ounces, so it'll end up right at about 44 ounces. So
That should be really nice.
It's really light.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, just hope it all holds together. Softwood is
light.
Softwood is softwood, you know.
And you said it was a Vector 40 ARF?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, and with the standard controls installed?
Yeah, I left that. I didn't put the upgraded controls in, you know. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, for my level right now, it's perfect, you know. And I'm getting right at. I was talking to Tryon earlier. You know, I'm getting right at. I got to see what the batteries when I charge them again and see what I use. But you know, it's 2,200 milliamp batteries. You know, I'm getting about 4 minutes and 30 seconds for me for a beginner pattern. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need much more. Yeah, I got some 28s, but they're quite a bit heavier. So yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not an electric guy.
Yeah. But it's good.
It's all foreign to me.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm starting to do the think process on how I'm going to do the construction on the profile fuse for that one Vector 40 I'm doing. I've got the kit for the beautiful kit for the built up, but I've got a ARF wing that I salvaged from someone from a Vector 40 ARF, and I think I'll rebuild the center section on that for a profile and make a profile Vector 40. So I'm kicking around if I do a foam core or a built-up thick truss structure, or just go for flat or whatever. Really decided yet. I'm starting to kick around that as a thought process.
I think Tom Dixon had a profile Vector 40 that was pretty popular. I forgot what he called it. He called it something different. It wasn't called the Vector 40. It was something different. He called it. Anybody remember that design by Tom Dixon?
Yeah.
You know, for a profile, I've got probably 50-60% of the work done already. So what the heck, I may as well. I don't need another build up because I'll have the built up 40 and two FP11s.
I need the vacuum over here and here, because I still should. I'm not the only one. We still should.
Good.
And if I together, but a SIG twister to fancherize also.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
I got one of the the franchise twister kits from Walter. Those last ones he made. So I'll get that together sometime this winter, probably.
Yeah, just bought the SIG kit and I've got the plans for the fancherize. So just modify it as per what reason.
So I was probably going to put that. Actually, I got a LA-46 from Mike. Yeah, I'll probably put that on the twister. I think that'll probably work pretty good. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking on my profile and my built up vectors, I'll probably put my LA-46s on the twister. If I do that up, I'll probably put an LA-40 on it because I have two of those also. Or another option is I've got a couple of virtually new Super Tiger 46s I could put on also.
Yeah, that would work. That would work. Yeah. Super.
I think those are first world problems when you're having to decide between all those sort of engines.
Exactly right.
Well, you guys, I'm going to be transitioning to the show to the after party, but we've had a really good show. We've had, I think we had 15 in here tonight. And as far as out in the audience watching us, we've had as many as like 27. 27. And a lot of chatter on the chat box. Thank you very much for everybody in the chat box. It's always a great addition to the show. And we're going to just continue, but we're just going to end the live stream. So we'll be able to continue. And it's Friday night. Some of us don't have to go to work tomorrow. And so we can stay up and talk about what we really want to talk about. And should be a lot of fun. But thanks for coming in. We'll be back Monday. So this is the weekend. Hopefully you can do something in your shop or go flying and come back and tell us all about it Monday.